All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for UP Sports Time, edition number 2. And this one comes after the first regular season game for our Vikings, as they had a huge victory against East Montgomery, 45-21. Coach, congratulations on your first win in the season. And
Thank you. We were really excited. We got off to a hot start. Defense had a quick 3-and-out. They punted the ball. Archie Chandler took it to the house. Had another 3-and-out immediately following that, and Tyreek McCoy broke one for 76 yards. So, we ran 2 plays other than our defensive plays, and we were up 14-0 like that. So that's always fun to start off hot. That's
right, Coach. And, such a big momentum moment moving into the game. You had to take back the punt return and then 76-yard touchdown run, 2 massive runs to start the game off. I can only imagine what it felt like on the sideline for your players.
The energy and the excitement. The kids were fired up. We had the sideline bouncing. The band was loud. We brought a lot of fans. Thank you to the fans that came. Cheerleaders, everybody was involved, and when you can get the momentum rolling like that, it makes it fun for everybody that's there to watch and cheer us on. So we appreciate all the support and the band and the cheerleaders and the fans that showed up Friday night.
And especially starting off the regular season with an away game, preparing for that, getting your kids to say, even though it's the first season game, we're not going to be able to do it at home, but hey, let's go out and get the victory here and then take it back to the house. And
it's always difficult to go on the road, no matter who you play, because it's an environment you're not used to. It's music you're not used to. It's a locker room you're not used to. It's a bus ride. There's a lot of things that you have to overcome in a road game, and our kids fought hard and did a great job of overcoming all the obstacles that were thrown in front of them and coming out with a victory.
Absolutely. So as we kind of recap that, we're going to move into our offensive, defensive, and this year, ladies and gentlemen, we're adding a special teams player of the game.
Offensive player of the game, number 1, running back Tyreek McCoy. Tyreek had 17 carries, 276 yards, and you're a math guy, so that's 16.2 yards per carry.
You did that in your head?
No.
Oh, come on now.
No, not that good. But 16.2 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. Tyreek ran the ball hard, broke a lot of tackles. And then giving Tyreek the praise, you got to not leave out the offensive line and the fullback that created those running lanes for Tyreek. So our offensive line, which has been a big question mark for us, and we've talked about that before, they came out and proved themselves a little bit. We're not completely satisfied, but we're very, very happy with the progression that they're making, and the offensive line had a heck of a night opening up some holes for Tyreek.
Awesome. And so there you go, offensive player of the game, Tyreek McCoy. We're going to go ahead and move into our defensive player of the game. Go ahead, Coach.
Defensive player of the game, number 18, defensive end, David Stem.
Oh, yeah.
Stem had a great night, a bunch of quarterback pressures, and then the play that changed the game was his interception return. We were up 21-14. They were driving down the field and in a situation to tie it. And they ran a screenplay. Stem did a great job of reading it, jumped up, snagged it, and took it back 90 yards. And that changed the whole game, kind of took the life out of their offense and the rest of their team and gave us the energy back that we needed. So David Stem's our defensive player of the week.
And I saw that highlight, and he just came off the corner there, just picked it out there.
And he does that. He does that all the time to our screens at practice, and you get irritated with him at practice because we just want to work our offense.
It's like, come on, man.
And I told him Friday night, I said, I get so mad at you when you do that at practice, but I'm so happy tonight.
That's right.
So he practices it, and it worked out for him to where he was in the right spot and jumped up and snagged it, and then nobody could catch him.
Oh, no, he was about 30, 40 yards ahead of the next guy behind him. So defensive player of the game there, number 18, David Stem. And, Coach, we're going to move into now our special teams player of the game. Who was that?
Yeah, we had co-special teams players of the week this week, something new that we've started, so I decided to split that and give it to 2 people. The first special teams player of the week is Archie Chandler, number 2. The big-time punt return to start our season, 55-yard punt return, got a couple of good blocks, but Archie's done a great job for us, played great on defense. He gets frustrated because they don't throw the ball his way, but that's what happens when you're a good corner. So Archie got the ball kicked to him, and he did the most with it, and that's why he's one of our special teams players of the week. Our second special teams player of the week is Dan Rathbun, our kicker. Dan got a little bit of playing time last year at the end of the year on varsity. We brought him up a little bit, but mostly he kicked on JV. This is really his first full-time game on the varsity level. Went 6 for 6 on PATs and added incredible. A 24-yard field goal as well. Wow. So Dan accounted for 9 points on his own.
Wow.
So Dan Rathman and Archie Chandler are co-special teams players of the week.
Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen the picture on Facebook floating around out there on social media of Archie off the coach, what is this boy's vertical? I'm saying
we got to get an official measurement on that vertical, because after that touchdown, I guess the energy and his excitement, he was fired up. I don't know. It might have been a good angle, but I like to think that Archie can get up there.
Now, I know there's a hill behind the end zone.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he didn't jump off the hill, because it looks like he just took a straight vertical.
Yeah.
And I believe your comment was he said, why does Archie look like a rocket ship?
Looks like a rocket ship taking off, man. He's so athletic. He's so athletic. And just to see that picture captured was a pretty cool moment, and just shows some of his athleticism without even showing film.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, absolutely. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, special teams, co-special teams players of the games. We have Archie Chandler and Dan Rathman. So after the players of the games, we're going to go ahead and get into some highlights for East Montgomery. Coach, you ready?
Yeah, let's get to the highlights.
All right.
All right, we're at practice with Archie Chandler, Special Teams Player of the Week. Archie, just give the fans a little brief breakdown of what was going through your mind as the ball was kicked to you.
Just returning for a touchdown. Had a few good blocks from my teammates to help me score. You know what I'm saying?
How exciting was that to start off the season? And I know the sideline was jumping, but how exciting was that to give our team a big boost?
Very exciting. I was happy to score my first varsity touchdown, my first possession. Glad it helped out the team to get a win.
And last question for you, Archie. How do you feel about this upcoming game against St. Paul's?
Hope I get another punt return and hope we get the win. Go 2-0 in the season.
Thank you, Archie. Congratulations. All right, we're on the field at practice with Special Teams Player of the Week, Dan Rathbun, our kicker. Dan, this was really your first experience on varsity. How does it feel to be able to contribute 9 points to our big win on Friday night?
It feels really good. I mean, I'm just basically insurance. I mean, all the real stars are on offense, something like that. I just do my job.
All right, Dan, and how do you feel about this next upcoming game against St. Paul's?
I'm going to keep 100%.
6 for 6 on PATs, a 25-yard field goal. Special Teams Player of the Week, Dan Rathbun. Thank you, Dan. At practice with Offensive Player of the Week, Tyreek McCoy. Tyreek McCoy, 276-yard rushing, 4 touchdowns. Tyreek, describe your big night to the Viking fans.
I had a big night rushing. Thanks to the O-line and my fullback, Nick. They had a heck of a game. They're the reason that I got all those yards in the ground, and hope we can do it again next week.
And the biggest run of the night for you is a 91-yard touchdown on an outside run. Explain to the fans what was going through your mind as you hit the edge on that.
Well, I was just trying not to get caught. I had to run as fast as I could. I wanted to score that one.
And last question, Tyreek. Tell us what you think and what you expect from the big home game against St. Paul's this Friday night.
I'm expecting a big game again. My O-line, they've been working hard this week at practice, and I'm pretty sure they're going to work hard at this game so I can get another big rushing game.
Thank you, Tyreek. Congratulations. Good luck this week.
All right, thanks.
Practice with number 18, David Stem, our Defensive Player of the Week. David, describe the defense's performance in your opinion. What went well for the defense on Friday night?
Well, I felt like we started off pretty strong. We started off with two 3-and-outs, a punt return touchdown. We got pretty quick on them. I feel like we didn't I didn't feel like we kept the pedal to the gas the entire game, but we did the job and got the win.
All right, big play by you. We're up 21-14. They're driving to kind of tie the ball game there and make it a close game. Describe that play to the fans, and everybody's seen it on the highlights now, but describe that play to the fans and what was going through your head.
We backed up in the red zone pretty bad. We're up by a score, so I feel like something definitely needed to happen. I do kind of have a reputation in practice for getting those screen passes, and I just read the quarterback pretty well, and just the rest is history after that.
And last question, Mr. Stem, tell us what you expect this Friday night in the big home opener against St. Paul's.
Well, St. Paul's definitely has a very fast offense. They're unique in their offensive line as they don't get down. We're definitely bring our A game, and if we can just make improvements each day this week, we'll have a good shot.
Thank you, David. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so, Coach, we're coming back from the highlights and also coming back for some player interviews that you had throughout the week. So what's your idea with these player interviews? You're going to try to incorporate a little more?
We want to incorporate more of our players. I'm sure parents and fans get tired of seeing my face
and my face
on this,
for sure.
on this broadcast. So we're going to add some players to it, get them some time on the camera, and kind of get them some recognition because they deserve it. And it's really not about me. They have to go play.
That's right.
I just try to make sure that they're there on time. And
I just sit here and talk.
yeah. So the kids deserve some recognition. So we're going to start adding a lot of player interviews. Practice interviews, and once school starts, we'll even bring them onto the set.
Yeah, absolutely.
And have them on set for some interviews. So that's a pretty cool addition that we're looking at adding this year.
Awesome, Coach. I think it's a great addition to the show. And so we recapped last week's game at East Montgomery, and this week, Coach, we get to bring it back home, and we'll be hosting the St. Paul's Bulldogs. You want to talk a little bit about this matchup?
Yeah.
I think last year was the first year we played them in a good while. Yeah. We'll have to get historian Ruben Davis on the official stats. But
last year, played them. It was my first win as a head coach. We won 49-38, and it was a tough game for us because we thought that we had them beat, and that the kids at St. Paul's are not going to quit. That's just the type of mentality they have. They have the never quit mentality, and you got to respect them for that. And we know that they've done nothing but grow since last year. New head coach that is a very, very sound and technical head coach that's going to have his team ready to play. They come off of a big win at E.E. Smith. So,
that's right. Yeah, that was a big upset last week, I believe.
Yeah, we're excited to come back home and be at Will Hoyt Stadium, and it is Military Appreciation Night. So we're excited to host this week and get back home and have our kids play under the lights here at Will Hoyt.
That's right. Will Hoyt Stadium, 7:30 kickoff, Coach.
7 p.m. kickoff.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
kickoff.
kickoff. Last week's just got delayed because of heat concerns and, and things like that. So we just backed it up last week. But this week will be 7 p.m. kickoff.
Back to our regular time, 7 p.m. kickoff. Will Hoyt Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you out here. First home game of the regular season against the St. Paul's Bulldogs. And bring your spirit, bring your voice. That marching band's going to be there, Coach. That cheerleading squad's going to be there. And let's make this first game a rowdy one. How about it?
Yes, let's do that. Now we'll add that we're going to start a new tradition, so to speak, of in pregame, probably about 6:45. The Viking players were going to come and enter the stadium through the stands, we can high-five the fans and the parents and the kids and everybody that's there. So that's going to be something new and cool for our kids to go through, and we'll enter through the stands and then take the field, so everybody can get one last high-five and one last good luck on the way to the field.
Absolutely, Coach. And that was one thing that you brought to the team last year, is this sense of family.
Yeah.
And getting the community involved and making sure that it really is a family effort. We support these boys 100%, and Coach, I think that's a wonderful addition, and definitely going to be special for the fans.
Yes, and the kids are excited about coming through the crowd and high fiving brothers and sisters and moms and dads and grandparents before they take the field. I think it'll be a cool addition, like you said, for our community.
Very cool, Coach. And so once again, ladies and gentlemen, 7 o'clock, Will Hoyt Stadium this Friday. Your Vikings will host the St. Paul's Bulldogs. And as always, we'd like to give a shout out to Timeout Sports Grill. Even though we're not recording there, they make this possible for us. They support us 100% here for Viking football. We'd definitely love to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, Timeout does a great job. They fed our coaches Sunday for our coaches meeting. So go see Jeff and Susan. They'll take care of you. We appreciate all their support.
That's right. Shout out to Timothy Hill Photography for giving us some great shots of Viking football action. He does a wonderful job. Just an incredible man. He really is. He loves Viking football like the rest of us do. He's awesome. Takes some great pictures.
Great supporter. A guy that loves Viking sports all the way around and captures some great images for us and for our families.
Absolutely. And we'd also like to thank the staff and the administrative team here at Union Pines High School for letting us come and do this. Like I said, Coach, we got the easy job. We get to come here and talk about football. You get to coach football. But the administrative team supports us in this effort as well. Yeah. And we'd like to thank you, the community. Thank you guys for supporting Viking football, coming out to the games, watching the show here. We had a right amount of views last week for the preseason show. So after this first regular season, Coach, I think it's going to be
the show's going to get better. The show's going to get better as we add players, additions, and interviews and things like that. So we just want this thing to grow and let our kids get some recognition. Before we go off the air, I want to give a shout out to all the coaches' wives that deal with us, everybody on the staff all season long. You barely get to see us, and especially my wife. Thank you to her and the rest of the coaches' wives that deal with lending your husbands to a team for the next 6 months.
That's right. And to my wife as well. I only have half the season, and all I get to do is just sit up in the booth. But my wife as well, she's a huge supporter of it. And thank you to everyone in the community. Union Pines School here. Shout out once again to Timeout Sports Grill. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you out this Friday, 7 o'clock, Will Hoyt Stadium. Your Vikings host St. Paul's Bulldogs.
Thank you, and go Vikings.